about 20 minutes until I have to roll the ads, which is nice because it carries over into the next stream. But yeah, I was having internet issues, so I decided to restart everything. Gave it a second, came back around. Um, did the final count to 10 in my titles. I'm trying to move on to the next poem. Um, Welcome back. Thanks. Yeah. I had to just restart everything. I just shut it the fuck down, turn it back on. Okay. So I still wanted to read. I still was hoping to read some Ram Dass this evening. But now I've got 20 minutes until I need to roll another ad, so I don't know who came back, or if my chatters came back, or if they've gone to bed or moved on to another stream yet. But we can chat for a minute, and then go into it. But if nobody says anything in the next like 30 seconds, I'm just gonna start reading pretty much, roll the ads, and go to that mode. So speak now or forever hold your pee. Anybody, anybody. Aha, you thinking about it, saying something. You should. You don't know what to say. I've missed you. Okay. Could be. Um, Hope you're well. Um, Hello. How about glad you made it. Good to see you working. Love what you're working on. You can say anything. What's the big deal? Say something. No matter how long it's been. Who cares how long it's been? Just, I wouldn't dwell too much or worry too much about it. My throat is dry. Do. Something I lost for words. Oh, why? What's going on? She's a tear in my heart. She's on fire. She's a tear in my heart. My desire. She's a tear in my heart. I get higher than I've ever been. Are we gonna read, or is somebody gonna say something? All four of you are just lurking right now. What is this? This is like the kooky hours of the morning. These aren't even silly, illy hours of the morning anymore. These are straight up kooky hours. What happened? I had chatters, and then the stream got disconnected, and I would come back, and it's just you fucks. I'm just kidding. I don't even know who it is because you're just lurking. I'm rolling the ads, and I'm reading the book. God damn it. I'm reading. I've reflected on the difference between a teacher and the guru. Guru is the way into this perfect center, the Atman, the inner place, to the way, to the Tao. Closer you come. With the guru to making contact, the closer you come into the samadhi, to going into this perfect center, the Atman, the inner place, to the way. You never know how this is supposed to be read, and I think that's great to some extent and annoying in other ways. It's as if the guru is an airplane hovering over a landing field, and there's just too much ground traffic for the plane to land. Cars all over the runway looking for a guru. He just circles and circles doing a holding pattern, waiting for you to clear your runway so he can land. He's sitting up there in here all the time. Maharaji is not further away from you at the moment than the thought you're thinking now. And if you were capable of completely stopping this thought or transcending it or being centered from the inside behind, he and you would then be one. The guru stuff's a bit much for me, dude. That's like you took too much psilocybin and you are literally obsessed with this guy in India. And like I can channel this fool and he laughs about this because he agrees with what I'm saying, where you just like these white guys would take one little bit of information and run with it. And like I understand what he's saying because he's talking about the ultimate, the vision, the guru, the eyes, the Alex Gray paintings, right? Like I get where he's going and coming from and true source and how it's just an image and he wanted to go see for himself and that you might be able to even project to guru just like I do. Yes, I walk with him all the time. I have this laugh now. It's so funny. I can just connect with that all the time. But there's something about him that is this is bizarre to me to read. Because it doesn't hit the same way. Like he just his perspective on it, I feel like it's such a masculine perspective, it's such a male perspective. And there's nothing wrong with that. He was in Aries, so he was like a sign male presenting male choosing male being and a masculine element. So of the masculinity's mouth, yes. Totally fine. Totally it's still its own valid experience. Still the Bible, yeah. But goddamn it shows where it's just like the divine feminine is a mother and the divine masculine is a guru. Like yeah, no thanks. I can't you can't just put the weight of the world on women and then give men all the credit. It's crazy. It's crazy. So there's some stuff in this that I'm like, yes, this is why I'm working on what I would say here in the book. Um which I will start, I think, when I want to sit down and do it. I thought I'd make it piece by piece here and do like a it's just this and that. But no, I think that actually it will be sit down one night and really think. I've been thinking of very little bit to go on, but there will be a lot to go in it. But this is the inspiration to follow up the counter pamphlet. You dig that my special relationship to him, if indeed he is living in Satchi Ananda, cannot conceivably be special. There's no meaning to that. Specialness can only be in each person's karma. It's not an interpersonal relationship with a being that is not interpersonal. People say you've got something going on with the guru. That's absurd. I just have going with my own karma. I just have what I have going with my own karma. Each person is as close to the guru as every moment as he is close to the guru at that moment. And people say maybe the guru would intervene and take on my karma. But from a guru's point of view, he just understands eternal time and space. This is relatable. Yes. He has no attachment either to life or death, and if he takes on your karma, it is your karma that should take on your karma. Simple as that. You see, you are the guru. That's what's so far out. You are your own guru. I am my own grandpa. And that's what you finally know when you are hanging out with one of these guys. You hang out with yourself because there's nobody at home there at all. So, the extent that there's hanging out in the interpersonal sense, all you can be is seeing are your own desires, is a perfect mirror since there's nobody here. Okay, so this is a bit the meaning as well. He very much ascribed a character to this man who still existed as a man, who became more of an entity because of the people around him and because he was a holy man, yeah. But even though all his teachings, his skills, his being, his understanding is very relatable to what I do. Yeah. And I am not a guru necessarily here, as he says, and yet I relate more to the other guy than him. But for someone to think, I don't think somebody looks at me and just thinks there's no one home and nothing there. And so it's interesting that you have that perspective just because someone might not have much to say or can tune in with you. That's who he is in all moments, is that person. It's not that no one is home. That's such an insult, kind of, to not even recognize that there's a whole person in front of you, no matter how divine, no matter how connected, no matter how holy, 1313, that there is still a human who had to go through growing up from being a baby, from wearing diapers and learning to walk and learning to talk and learning to write and all the same things, feeding and eating and all the things that you do. So did this holy man. Had to. Okay? You cannot just say no one's there, it's vacant. He can show you a perfect mirror and still perfectly be who he is. He's the mirror. Holy shit. It's just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, of course, I wasn't there. I didn't meet the guy. And I'm not even trying to criticize. I feel like because I've channeled Ram Dass before, and I feel like I channel Haman. I don't even know who he's talking about. This book is so confusing. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. It's tripping fucking nonsense. You get halfway, you get past the halfway point, and it's really good leading in. And then it just gets to the point where it's like, it's almost cringy. It's like, shut up, right? That's just such a harsh take. Such a harsh take because once again, I see the perspective of the holy man where it's like, wow, way to just minimize and demean who he is, right as he is, to be who you want him to be. But I think that's Ram Dass learning that in depth and understanding that now and seeing that as his critique on the book. And that's why I feel so comfortable saying it because they told me the first time, do not speak over the Bible that way, insulting and rude. But this is a genuine criticism of not a misprint, but this was misguided. This was a wrong message. Page 66, not a good page in this book. It was bad. That was bad. I sense that now. This Ram Dass message. So let's just keep going. The chicken sees. When I met my guru who knew everything in my head, I realized that he knew everything in my head, whether I liked it or not. He knew it. Again, relatable to the guru. Whether he liked it or not, whether I like it or not. Holy shit, dude. Shut up then. You don't have to talk to me. I hear it. And then it's like, okay, so if I hear it, why are you talking to me? It's so weird. Like it's very annoying. It happens all the time, not all the time, but or like I can see the intention and things. Like, why are you trying to deny it? Right? Like it's the same thing. For me, not the same exact thing as this, but like that. Those two examples would be equivalent. Right? Okay. And there would be times after a particularly beautiful darshan with him when he'd say to me, "Oh, you gave me too much money to a lama." And I'd say, "Yes." And he'd say, "You're very good. You're coming along with your sadhana." I felt so good. And then I'd go back to the temple and I'd think, boy, am I going to be a great yogi? I'll have great powers. What am I going to do with them? And I'd start to have these horrible thoughts, and all my impurities would rise to the surface and they would really be. And then I'd go to bed and I'd have all kinds of sexual fantasies. And I'd think, look, you're being a yogi and you see the absurdity of that situation you're in. But I'd still have the thought. And then in the course of it, I'd have a thought. I'd be going through my shoulder bag and come across a note I'd written to myself. Remember to visit Lama Govinda. And I think I must visit Lama Govinda while I'm in India. And the next morning at 8 o'clock, there is this messenger with this instructions. The guru said, you're going to visit Lama Govinda. Now, there isn't a message saying cut out those sexual thoughts, but he must have obviously known them. Do you think he just picked up on the Lama Govinda thing? And I assume the probabilities are he only tunes in every time I have a positive thought. And then I come before him, and now I'm freaked because I know he knows it all. And I walk in, and he looks at me with total love. And I think, how can he do it? This guy must be nuts. He's loving this corrupt. Why isn't he? You see, the predicament I was in. And then what I understood was he was loving that in me, which was behind my personality and behind my body. Not, I really love Ram Dass. It wasn't interpersonal love. It wasn't possessive love. It wasn't needful love. It was the fact that he is love. Mm. I like that is a good page. 67, 68, 68. That's a good page. This is a good page. I like this. I am love. Yes, I am love. I am love. Okay. People who will say I am hard to love simply do not know how or what love is. It's so simple. It is that easy. And it is so true. And I've known that and learned that in my life because it's been a long road to get here. Do you think this was on purpose that page 69 literally has dicks on it? Like the most graphic page in the text is page 69. Yeah, that's could not be an accident. Where he saw me, he looked at me, and he saw that place in me, which is here in love. We are love. I'm sorry. What the fuck, man? Sometimes it's just like, what is this, and why am I reading it like this? It's so infuriating. Where he saw me, he looked at me, and here in love we are. And he saw that place in me, which is love. That's the world he lives in. And once I appreciated that and could see that he could look at this corrupt, impure, ugly being, and he could love it that much. Nobody had ever done that before. Everybody had said, I'll love you if. And he just said, where you really are and where I really am, we are love. And when I was around him, I was in love. Now, once I had tasted of that universe where we are all us, this place that's the sea of love, boy, I'm going to live in it. I'm going to be it. I'm going to submerge myself in it. You got to protect yourself. From what? Love? Once you know there's no place to hide anyway, then you wonder, who are you hiding from? There's a Sikh story about a holy man who gave two men a chicken and said, go kill them where no one can see. One guy went behind the fence and killed the chicken. Pardon me. The other guy walked around for 2 days and came back with the chicken. The holy man said, you didn't kill the chicken? The guy said, well, everywhere I go, the chicken sees. Saha Samadhi. Saha Samadhi. The guru is on an endless wave, just hanging out in that place. He's hanging. Where does he reside? He resides in this really interesting place. He resides right in that place where the Divine Mother merges into herself. He's right between the two sides of the coin. He's right at the place he goes into one with it all, into the void, and he comes back into form in order to love it all. And then, through his love, he goes back into it again. Yes, it's a great way to describe it. Oh, this is why I'm glad I read this book, is hearing Ram Dass describe the other guy is like, yeah, 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 that's me. That's what I do. That's where I'm at. And it's almost like comforting to know that, like, okay, maybe I'm not insane. Maybe people actually do these things and I'm not the only one and I didn't make this up and people actually really do en- enjoy these things and enjoy that other people do them. And as much as anybody could have the capability to be any single one of us in any kind of probable probable way, in any sense of probability. There is kind of this like, how to say, need to be your own, need to be you, need to be who you are meant to be and how you are walking this earth. Because even if we are connected at the core, even if we are all one, there's a reason that we are all created in God's image, and it's because God wanted to be so many of us. God had so many ideas. Think about how many creative ideas you come up with in a day, and you become a god of your own world because you dictate what it is, right? You decide who you are every morning. You decide your conditions in life. You decide how you're going to live and who you're going to live with, and what you do for living, okay? And how you make your life. You play God for yourself. So imagine God made all of us. Imagine that. Okay. So to say yes, we're all from one source, we're all the same thing, we're all God's children. Sure, 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 sure. By no means does that make us all the same. It makes us all completely unique in that way. Of why else would God have bothered to make yet another if he was not going to make it in such a way that it was so unique to the next, that it was worth creating its own separate being from everything else. Thank you. Welcome back. That's my take on that. It was like, go all out. It's like, sure, there's no point. Nihilism. That's always whatever. And yeah, it seems like people can be alike, or you can try to copy someone and try to be like them, but you really got to just, if you're yourself, you are perfect because God wanted all 8 billion of us here for some reason, and many 8 billion of us wanted to be here for some reason. And so here we are. And so here we are. And I think that's beautiful. I dig that. I dig that. But let's keep going, okay? I only got halfway through this page before I had to say hi. Before I had to say all these things like, yes, I do feel like this man, he describes and talks about the way I go into these planes and know who thinks of me and what people are thinking, and the way that I get messages, downloads, not the deceased, everything. Very stressful sometimes because it's not a good environment to be around people. That's why this motherfucker lived in the mountains and didn't want anyone to know where he was. I totally relate to that. So, anyways, let's be here now. Ram Dass. It's the Bible, like the psychedelic Bible. It's the love Bible. It's the book of love and the psychedelic Bible. That's how I describe it. I've never read it. I'm reading it on stream in pieces. You can catch them all. I have everything archived, and only none of it's uploaded on Patreon yet. I'm so sorry. I get so distracted and take on so much. It's just constantly, what am I doing? The fuck? Yeah, so let's get back to it. It's like making love to somebody and you pick your face up from your lover in order to come down to experience. Aren't we having a ball? And then you go back into oneness. Such a Zen being does that with every breath, between each breath, one, and then the breath of two. One, two, one, two, one, two, one. Two. He is eternally in that place. He is what he is known as Sahara Samadhi. See, I am forced to be in this world. I do not live up in the mountains where no one knows who I am, and I work as I choose, and people praise what I do. Yeah. I work in corporatism, capitalist society in America. Not a good fit for a holy man, especially not in this body of a Western woman. He's right at the edge. He stays at that edge, and that's why he stays in his body. If he just stayed in the void, the body after 21 days just falls away, and there's no ego left to hold it together. That's the rule of the game, if you're wondering what happens. Some beings do that. They go into samadhi, and they've finished with their bodies, and they just leave them. And there are others. There are some very far out stories in India. There are others who leave a thin, very, very thin thread of ego. There's one being for who 20 years was locked up in a cave, and every year his devotees opened the cave once a year. They'd go in to have his Darshan. There was no food, nothing, and he looked like a corpse except that his hair kept growing and his nails kept growing. For 20 years, he was not hanging out with much. He was just leaving a subtle thread to keep in contact. That's like the most intense thing I've ever read in my life. I wonder if it's true. I mean, it must be true. There were so many witnesses to it, right? But he just says one being. Who's the being? The fuck? It says being because it's like maybe that's not a human. You're from India? Oh, cool. Do you know about that story? Okay, a lot of this is a white guy's perspective of holy men in India, and that's why some of it is literally whack as fuck. And it has inspired me to write something that's a little less reliant on someone else's culture and teachings than Ram Dass did. That's my take on this. So, listen, I can't deal with some of the stuff. Oh my goodness gracious, look at this guy. You come here. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Yep. Okay, fair. That's fair. And maybe they don't need to be, but I just wonder socially, yeah. But not just those stories. The way he speaks on things, and I've never been to India, and I don't know these people, so it's like maybe not my place to judge. But I'm a necromancer, and I talk to the dead, and all them folks are dead, so I feel like I kind of understand the criticisms may come from the horse's mouth itself. But anyways, whew. Those of little faith need long fingernails and long hair to believe it's happening. Lest ye see miracles, ye will not believe, said our buddy. Oh, Saul and the Astrals. Little band of angels here. Hi, Wolfie. Everything he said was straight, you understand? All that stuff in the Bible is really straight. Look what happened to Saul of Tarsus. For God's sake. There he was, riding along on the desert on his horse or camel or something. And a voice said to him, "Why are you persecuting me?" He was out in the hot sun, and he flipped out. He went flying off his horse and fell on the ground. "What do you want with me?" "Try my church. Go to the next town, and you'll be instructed." And that's what he heard. And he went the whole trip. And that's an astral trip, a very groovy astral trip. And that's what the Bible is, an astral story, a very groovy astral story at one level. I can feel the horror in somebody. He's saying it's a good astral story, but illusions are illusions. It's here. It's the sound of the tambora. In the beginning was the world. Ready. Look at this fool. I love that. That's so me. I literally was laying like that all day. Absolutely. It is a combination of things that make you ready to see the guru. There are many people who come to see Maharahi. Maharahi? It's like Maharahi. And they just see a little old man with a blanket. Can you imagine the horror? This happened to two people who heard me and figured out where the guru must be through logical deduction and went to India and went rushing to his feet and found a little old man in a blanket who threw them out. Imagine what that must feel like. Because you can see the difference in their minds, what it was they had a model of. The model was what they searched for. It was their own thought process which kept them from seeing. Two things are required. One is vairagya, the falling away of worldliness. the return of innocence. That means you're starting to have enough of all that. You see that everything you're going to experience through your senses and everything you're going to know through your thinking mind is not going to be enough. And worldly things begin to appear like dross instead of gold. Not totally. It begins to happen. It's falling away. Just my teacher said, veil falls away like the skin of a snake. The ego thins like clouds until only a transparent layer remains. The other things that required is the pure seeking, the purity of faith. There is as much faith in you here in us at this moment as anywhere in India. I think it's just I'm not that tired. Like my eyes don't feel tired, and I did have an exhausting day, and I was having bouts of real exhaustion. But it's PMDD symptoms where sometimes I get a little shortness of breath. But I'm fine. The yawning is just literally to get oxygen into my body because I'm not breathing enough right now. Where there is faith, there is the presence of the guru. He is it all. He is all your impurities. He is all your corruption. There he is smiling at you through them, saying, and this too. He sees, he understands total compassion. Total compassion means you are the universe. You are all form. You are all the breath. You are the river. You are the void. You are the desire to be enlightened. You are enlightened. Yes. That's who he is. That's what a guru is. So, any concept you can have of any relation to a guru obviously is a hype. How can you relate to something which is already you and everything you have ever related to or could relate to? Which is funny because I said I related to the guru, right? And everything you've ever or could relate to, how are you going to talk about it? I met him. Who? What? I'm going to look for the guru. How absurd. You are it. It's really just another cop out to be searching for the guru. There's your fingernail. Just bite your fingernail. You're eating him alive. When you know how to listen, everybody is the guru speaking to you. It's right here always. Which that's trippy. I've been there. Is the thing where I thought everything was speaking to me, and I was getting messages from people who didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. But at certain phases of my life, I thought people did know and were coding their language to me because I could access this sort of guru feeling. Right, is how he would put it. Source is how I would put it. So I could access that, but I didn't realize not everyone is accessing source just because they might speak with source or speak um, be the vehicle for source to speak, so to speak, right? So there have been entrancing times, such as psychosis, when the message you might be getting is not necessarily a positive one, right? So that's a tricky road to go down. That's a tricky road to go down because it can be very negative if you're not in tune, if you're not paying attention, if you're not aware of your lessons, if you're not taking the L's and accepting the W's. Then of course it'll come to you as these creepy, mocking kind of energies. And that I think is sort of where psychosis comes from, besides actual Cthulhu who centers himself in the earth and fucks with every time portal known to man. Controlled this planet since before any of us were on it. A big mouth I have. Oh, there's a cookbook in the back here. I don't know if it's like a literal cookbook or not, but we'll get there. Giving vibes. I just kind of want to see. It's over 100 pages. Like part of me just wants to sit here and read this, finish it tonight. But I just read for like 30 minutes straight. So taking a second. And then we have to roll ads in 30 minutes. So I'm thinking I'll read for about 30 more minutes and then roll the ads and then probably be done reading for the night. And then I might chat for a little bit if anybody wants to chat with me. And then I'm gonna go to sleep. or work on the book. I don't know. I might stay up all fucking night, work on that book. I should probably take some medicine, do some stuff. So, well, not necessarily need to do anything, need to sleep, should probably have some kind of semblance of reality for sure. But to buckle down and to say, hey, let's do this treatment before bed, sure, maybe. Okay. Anyways, that's who he is. Wait, didn't we just read this? Okay, no, I'm done. It's like exhausting right now. Here, 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 here. Here and now. Keep doing the think people. Yeah, I can't read this. Keep doing the think people. Keep doing the because I don't think people thoroughly. Yeah, I don't want to decipher his nonsense right now. So we're gonna leave off on this page tonight. Looks like a big dick or a piece of literal shit. Like I can't read. I don't even get it. I'm trying to read it. Oh my god, I can't. I'm too tired for that. My brain is just like no more Ram Dass this evening. That's so funny. I feel like we didn't read that many pages, did we? No, we read to page 70 something and we started in the 60s. Almost made it to page 80. It's just this one insufferable. It looks so good actually coming up. Oh, I shouldn't be even looking at previews. This page is just like maddening to me right now. I keep doing the because unless there's just like words that are illegible because it's horribly printed. So this isn't going to make sense. I keep doing them because I don't think people thoroughly grok the fact that is where it all is. After you finish the whole thing and you've braided your spine for years and done your pranayam and meditated for years and years and sat in a cave and ants have eaten your arms and legs, you are here. Okay, maybe that did make a little bit of sense. I was just so confused. You were right again, and what blows your mind is you were here all the time, and it's such a cosmic joke. It's so funny. You're struggling to get here. At this moment, if you set the alarm to get up at 3:47 this morning, and when the alarm rings and you get up, I just wanted to check. It's not quite 3:47 yet. That would have been crazy, right? Um At this moment, if you set the alarm to get up at 3:47 this morning, and when the alarm rings and you get up and turn it off and say, "What time is it?" You'd say, "Now, now, where am I? Here, here." And then go back to sleep. Get up at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Where am I? Here. What time is it? By 4:32, 3 weeks from next Thursday. Now. By God, it is. There's no getting away from it. That's the way it is. That's the eternal present. You finally figure out that it's only the clock that's going around. It's doing its thing, but you're sitting here right now, always. Nobody is going anywhere. Nobody is coming from anywhere. We're all here. We're all here in eternal time and space. We're always going to be here. We're just doing Lila Rasa, the divine dance. We're dancing and dancing and dancing, dance after dance, in one body and another body, and we're all here and we're all staying right here. Nothing to do. There is nowhere to go and there is nothing to do. And we're going to keep coming to know one another, more and more free of being identified with any veil. We're going to see more and more of other beings less identified with their veils. As you find the light in you, you begin to see the light in everyone else. As you and something, if there is God everywhere, such a simple, obvious sequence of stuff to do. Somebody says, "Oh, I try meditating. I can't, and I'm afraid I'm not ready, and I've got to go." And great, sure, man, go ahead, of course. What else is there to do? Going back into the world, it's a good step. Am I going backward or forward? I can't do either of them. I can't go backward and I can't go forward. And I can't stand still. All of it is irrelevant. All of it is irrelevant. We're all just caught in this delusion. All of us caught in the illusion, being aware of it as an illusion, and yet so much in it. If you have ever watched a beautiful Zen monk, a very old monk who's really there or here, really here, whichever, you watch him, he's cooking food, he's lifting stones, he's moving. You watch him walk, and it's like nobody's walking. The legs are going, and the whole thing is happening, but nothing is happening no matter what is happening. And that's what blows your mind when we get out of the kinds of heads we've got going that don't allow us to really understand how this can be. Return to the roots and live out your karma. The best I can tell you about that karma is if you are pure spirit, you are not matter, you are that eternal spirit. Well, if each of us is that very old being and not this young body or this body that is going through this life, why don't we remember? Why don't we remember it all? Why can't we read the entire Akashic record? Because of our attachments to the physical plane of reality, because of the power of our identification with our own body senses and thoughts. Being able to read the Akash was one of the last things that I was gifted in this life when it came to my spiritual gifts, right? And I might still get more gifts as time goes on, but that's been the most recent, most felt like the longest time coming in a sense. That, you know, been doing it for a while, but I just didn't realize what it was until recent. If you could go into a meditation room, close up your ears, sit down, center, go in, further in, oh, much further in. Oh, you've just begun. Keep going back in. Don't linger to smell the pretty sunflower. Don't linger to hold on to the ecstasy of bliss. Keep going in, behind the senses, behind your thoughts. And if you can go back in far enough, you will see everything you've identified with Him. You will see your own personality, your own body, your own life dharma, your own life drama. It's very awesome. The point is, we have gone out and out and out, and we have sought and found much, but it hasn't been enough. Now, by merely turning the process inward, you can go in and in and in until you've come to the place where Guru Rinpoche sits. And what is this place? Hindus call it the Atman. And what is the Atman? The Bhagavandam. The Bhagavandam, one of the holy books of India, says the Atman, or the divine self, is separate from the body. It is one, without a second, pure self, luminous, without attributes, free, all pervading. It is the eternal witness. Blessed he is who knows this Atman, for though an embodied being, he shall be free from the changes and qualities pertaining to the body. He alone is ever united with me. This is the place of the pure being. That is the interplace where you dwell and you just be. There is nothing to be done in that place. From that place, then, it all happens. It manifests in perfect harmony with the universe because you are the laws of the universe. You are the laws of the universe. It feels so good to be who I'm meant to be finally. I do have to say, even if I'm not fully realized yet, even if I don't have the title or the crown or the job or whatever, I still know who I am regardless, and I still am on my path no matter what happens. And I'm always going to be flexible enough to understand that people are going to do what they are going to do, and they are going to make the choices. And I can be dedicated, and I can manifest, and I can want something so badly, and it won't matter if somebody else don't want the same fucking thing. And that's okay, because I always bounce back, right? No matter what happens. This is what man's journey into consciousness is all about. This home, is going om. This is the place. Becoming one with God, returning. It's the return to the roots. That is, the Tao talks about it is. The stillness, the calmness, the fulfillment. When you make love and experience the ecstasy of unity, that's the place. When you've experienced a great achievement and you feel a moment of exhilaration, that's the place. When you see a moment of poetry in a flower or in words or in art the way it's supposed to be, this is the place right here. It's Buddha consciousness, it's Christ consciousness. Jesus said, I and my Father are one. When Buddha says you give up attachment and you finish with the illusion, this is the place. Whoa, how am I supposed to read this? How am I supposed to read this? Still, you do your thing. Live your life in the world. The water goes down the stream. You chop the wood and carry the water. You do your thing. Your mind does its thing. Your senses, their thing. But you are not attached because you sat in front of the candle flame until there was just you and the candle flame. And then finally, wow, I did have that experience one time. It was pretty intense watching. It was like a kerosene little lantern, and it was just the most beautiful thing to watch that flame dance. I watched it for hours until I realized the thing was about to be out of kerosene. Um, you extricated yourself from the attachment to your own thoughts, to the tyranny of the drunken monkey, even to the thoughts of I and the candle flame, not so that you would never think again. I mean, few people who know me don't appreciate the fact that I think and have been discrimination and have keen discrimination and have not lost my mind and am a sophisticated, aware being. And yet, behind every word and behind it all is a mantra going inside my head in which I am sitting calmly watching this whole drama unfold. I don't, what are these messages from? I'm so sorry. Yeah, right, right. And people who do psychedelics are typically on that train, and that's kind of what this book's been about and whatnot. So, yeah. Probably just finish up, read for 10 more minutes or whatever, roll the ads and be done with reading for the night. And then we read for a whole hour. And I think that's great. To read for an hour out loud. And then hopefully I finish my Kim Gordon book today. I would love to do that today. I can't even remember what day it is. It's Tuesday now. See you next Tuesday. Because we're a bunch of cunts. Yeah, fucking love it. My thinking mind is a perfect servant and a lousy master. I am watching he who speaks, I am watching they who listen. I am watching thinking, thoughts are clouds. The entire process from this place inside is always calm, place in which the flame never flickers. And as I learn to live in this eternal calm place, it gets deeper and deeper and calmer and wiser and lighter and lighter. And I am more love and I become more and more like the sun, just as the process calming, centering, calming, extricating myself from the drama. So long as one feels that he is the doer, he cannot escape from the wheel of births and deaths. This doesn't mean that I'm lying in bed, doing nothing. That's drama, as much as this book is drama. Drama is drama is drama is drama. Desire is drama. Thought is drama. Breathing is drama. Emotions are drama. All form is drama. It's all part of the drama. I have no scruple of change, nor fear of death. I was never born, nor had I parents. What does that mean? What it means is when you clear away all the underbrush, when you go back and back, not for the fun of it or for the powers involved, but to go back to be who you really are. Who you are turns out to be spirit, turns out to not be a matter at all. Matter, never mind, no mind, never matter. Either way, it works. Dude. Round trip. Mind creates matter. The casual plane is the world of ideas that creates the universe right at the top of all the casual plane is what we call the Godhead. It's the first place into the universe of form. It's the first world of form. It's the place where the mind that is God manifested into the universe. His thought manifested in all the lower levels of the casual plane, all the astral planes and the physical plane. And when you go back, 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 you go to that place where you become one with the Godhead you are. God, you are the id, he that lies behind the universe. You are literally it. You're not making believe you are it. You are it. Yes? Okay. And the funny thing is, you're still not finished. And as far as the Buddhist is concerned, you haven't even begun the trip. You're still hung up on form. Because he says, baby, it's all an illusion, no matter how groovy it gets. Physical plane is obviously an illusion, all a dream. You go to bed at night and dream. You notice about your dreams, they're very, very real, and yet they don't have any substance on the physical plane. And that's the astral plane. You're dreaming on the astral plane. And at this point of pure ideas, sometimes very high physicists or poets, me both, touch pure ideas. Sometimes music, art, a vase, a hieroglyph, or something gets so essency you feel you are touching God. By being in connection with that piece of art, because it's a pure idea, it's the idea of vasteness, is cause casual plane, the mind at the casual plane created that vase, that placeness of pure idea. It's the place where yin and yang manifest. It's the place where the duality exists, the first place in form from the immanent duality in the unmanifest from the formless. You come into that place where there is energy becoming form. Oh Lord. Look at that eye. For Illy, right? No, I'm just kidding. Is this another letter? Um, in order to become me, a fully realized being, oh, sorry, not become me. In order to become a fully realized being, you must delight in the exquisiteness at every single level. You must take joy in your maleness or femaleness at the same moment that you realize that you are both male and female. It's that far out. Love the gender nonconformity here. But then you go through the final door and you go from form into the formless, into the void, into the beyond, the beyond, the beyond, the beyond. When you have crossed the ocean of samskara, the ocean of illusion, the ocean of attachment, call it what you will, it's the same ocean. When you have crossed through all form, you enter the state of formless. It is eternally quiet. Is it eternally quiet? It never was. Push far enough into the void, hold fast enough to quietness, and of the 10,000 things none that can be worked, none, but can be worked on by you, I have beheld them, whether they go back, the all things. Okay, this feels like a tongue twister, and I realize that we only must have like not that many pages left. I think I'll stop here for the evening. Got 10 minutes till we roll the ads. 50 minutes of reading. Pretty good. Okay, we're going to end it here for the night. Because yeah, I think there's only like 105 pages, a little more than that, maybe like 110. So we're coming into a close. The next session we'll probably finish this section, and then I don't know what the extra is. Looks like there's plenty to read. We'll see if we get through that. I wanted to read it cover to cover, so yeah, it'll be an ongoing process. But look at this. Made it through so much of the book, yeah. Mwah. Love this Bible. It's very cool, very sweet, very everything, you know? Got to love it all. Funny how I stopped at 3:47, basically. It's 3:49 now, but that book had said 3:47 a.m. Whatever. Cute. So, I've got 9 minutes till I need to roll the ads. Um, I'm gonna roll them now. Come back and chat. Everybody's lurking, it seems like. I don't even know if Lightseeker is still here. I don't know how long I'm gonna chat for. But I'm gonna roll some ads. I also did a stream earlier. We got disconnected, so I had been streaming for like an hour and a half, and now I've been streaming for another hour at this point. So we are at the 2.5 hour mark of me streaming this evening. So forgive me if I take a little more than 3 minutes. Feel free to chat with me when I come back. If not, I'm going to be closing up shop. All right, y'all, back in chat mode, done reading for the evening. I think I might go read myself to sleep. I don't know. I think if I appreciate y'all being here, appreciate the lurking, appreciate the chatters who were with me all evening. It just seems like it's quiet now, and it's a good time to just go. Like I should probably just go at this point. Um, I love you all so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everything. You're awesome. It is time for me to get all the rest of this makeup off. I should have just went. Should have taken it all off when I was removing the stuff around my eyes. Because it ended up. You can barely see it. It's just like these blue lines on my face, pink eyebrows. I guess it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm gonna go scrub this off. And probably eat some food. Probably relax. Maybe read a book and go the fuck to sleep. You know, I think that sounds good. So, I love you all so much. Thank you for always being here. Thank you for the support, regardless of if you. Oh, you are here. I mean, I don't know. I was just saying, like, I was chat, but nobody was chatting. But it's late. I don't know where you're at in the world. We'll go. I appreciate you still being here. But yeah, I'm tired, so it's fine. No pressure. We're just gonna go. Kind of silly of me, I know. All right. So yes, thank you. You also have a great night, and enjoy it. Be peaceful today. Yeah, you have anger issues, I bet. Um, dare I go in? We'll do it tomorrow, maybe. Yeah, I don't know when I'm streaming in. Probably tomorrow. I was so tired today, I almost didn't. But I'll probably stream as many times as possible before the 12th. If I'm being honest, I'll probably stream every fucking night. Who are you people coming in now? I was gonna go. That's what I was saying. It's like I used to stream so much later and so much longer than I have been lately. So it's like whatever. But yeah, I'll probably be on here pretty much every night until the 12th because that's when I get um my monthly. That's the day I went affiliate was July 12th. So stream city the next few days. Yeah, yeah, and then I'll take a break. So be back tomorrow. Maybe we'll do an art stream. It's been a very, very long minute since we've done an art stream, and we're not doing any tarot. And we're going to be finishing the brown portion of the book, and then the white portion will be a lot denser reading, so we probably won't read as long. And maybe we can look into the next book that we're going to choose. So lots going on. Why is everybody tuning in now? Y'all just didn't want me reading. Y'all just didn't want to hear Ram Doss's book or anything. That's okay. I get it. I didn't 444 ever really want to hear it either. So, but I like it so far. So far, it's almost over. Well, not almost over, but yeah, we're past the halfway point. I think it's safe to say I like it. There's a few critiques, obviously. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna write a follow up. We're gonna write the femme version. But that's like so beautiful, yeah. We're all just lurking. Everybody's lurking. Everybody's lurking. Everybody's lurking. Everybody's lurking. Everybody's lurking. We could raid somebody if y'all want, but nobody's talking. Why would I be like, yeah, let's go raid someone when you're just all lurking and I'm not gonna stay in chat. So, anyways, everybody, what's up? What everybody doing? See y'all tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna just stream every day until the 12th. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll do a daytime stream. Those never really worked for me. That's how I ended up on the hella night overnight schedule and a bunch of Australian and New Zealanders on here. But yeah, I actually have so many creative things I want to do. Would y'all be interested in writing sessions on here? I don't know. Nobody's really talking to me at this point. So just things to keep in mind. If you'd like, you can follow my Instagram at IllyMilly or at ILMisdex. You can find all of my socials and all of my stuff in the link tree, which is in the bio, and I can also just drop it right here for you. Everything you need is here. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know when I'm going live because I never schedule times and it's been even more random days than usual lately. So if you follow me on there, I always post on my story when I'm about to go live or within a few minutes of going live. You can also find, like I said, a bunch of other stuff. So it's cool. But yeah, it'll probably be around midnight tomorrow. Love you all so much. And I will see you again soon. And I hope that you'll come back and you stay in tune. and everything goes well, and all the luck to you, and good days ahead, if not sweet dreams. And I hope that everything turns out exactly as it seems, okay? I love, 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 love you all so much. Thank you for letting me do this. Thank you for giving me the space. Thank you for honoring me in what I say. Thank you for showing support. Thank you for showing up for me. Okay. Um, I love you. Good night, good luck, good day, and such. So until we see each other once again. Mwah.